Hi there, I'm Lisa Doyle at J. Rockcliffe Realtors, and welcome to our How's the Market update. Today we have a special guest, my dear friend, lender, Michael Evans, with Prospect Mortgage. And what we've been getting asked, nearly on a daily basis right now, is what's going on with mortgages, interest rates, how's the market changing, what about FHA loan limits, just a million questions.
Sure.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
So I'm going to let Michael just jump in. There's a couple key changes.
Mm-hmm.
Start out, I guess, with the FHA loan limits and what's going on, changes there, or you can just start off with interest rates, whatever you think.
Yeah, interest rates would be a great thing to talk about because
Okay.
right now it's exciting. So we're just at historical lows right now. We're somewhere in the fours most of the time.
Yeah.
Quoted a rate this morning of 4.25, rates of 4.625 on investments. Things are great.
Isn't that crazy?
Can do jumbo loans. Rates are in the 3s and 4s in jumbo loans, all the way up to 10 million. So.
Well, and speaking of jumbo, I don't want to interrupt your flow real quick, but I know I've gotten a lot of questions from people asking about jumbo. For a while we could do a 10% down jumbo. They took that away. It had to be 20%. So what's the story now? Have they lightened up a little bit with not down?
You can start out with 20% down. It depends on the area, zip codes, and FICO scores and things like that, of course. But you could start out as little as... little as 10% down.
Okay.
But there might be times when you might have to put 15, 20, 25, depending on the zip code. And it's actually zip code oriented right now for the jumbos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though. It's good to know that there are 10% loans available at times. So. Cool.
Also with the loan limits changing, so of course the jumbo is helping fix that market. But right now loan limits went down. But in our high cost area where we're at now in the Bay Area, things are still pretty good. So loan limits changed from 729 down to 625.5 right now, and that's going to be where they're at. And that's actually taken effect right now. And in some of the outlying areas, the loan limits are going to be up to 417.
So when you say loan limits, you mean in order for a purchaser to get an FHA loan, they can't have a loan amount over that.
Correct.
And that change is taking place right now?
It is in effect right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So actually what it is there's actually a couple days until it's going to be in effect, but we've had to adjust now. So because they have the deadline of when the loan can fund, so it's really in effect now.
Exactly. Okay.
And as far as you were talking earlier about, and I get this question all the time, is people think rates are going to adjust because Bernanke is making a statement or the feds are going to say something. It does have an effect on interest rates as far as what investors might think is going to happen, but it doesn't have an effect on first mortgage interest rates. So a good way to look at it is to look at the Treasury note. That's one way to kind of tell, and you can look at the bonds. So investors are buying Treasury notes, and that's something that is not volatile for them to buy, so they feel very comfortable buying that. And when they do that, interest rates tend to go lower. So right now, that's where we're heading right now with the stock market. Is everything's running really smooth, but rates are continually adjusting downward. Today we had a reprice at noon. Wow. So everything's looking good right now as far as being in the historical lows of 4% interest rates.
Oh, it's so incredible. The difference between, most borrowers don't realize the difference between a 4% interest rate or 4.25 and a 6.5% interest rate, hundreds of dollars per month difference in in the overall cost is incredible. And
so right now it gives you more buying power.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or a lot less expense if if you keep your purchase price the same.
Sure.
Your cost of your home purchase is so much less. And I think one of the things that our clients always call us when Bernanke goes on and announces, I'm not going to make any Fed changes as far as interest rates, that doesn't necessarily impact long-term mortgage rates, though.
No.
There are other, the bond market, like you said, Treasury bills and the bond market affecting interest rates more than, say, Bernanke is.
Yeah, and what that does is really affect second loans and credit cards, auto loans, things like that. And there's not very many people using second loans, but that would affect it. And that's generally a home equity line of credit that gets affected by when the feds are talking about that. But the Treasury note is probably the best thing to view if you want to kind of understand what rates are doing. And I send out a market update all the time. If you ever want to have a market update from me, I can share that with Lisa and I. Yeah,
and we can pass it on to our clients. I love to get updates from you because we're watching it daily so that we can help our clients better. But the changes are so fast that staying on top of it.
And the technology is great right now because I really wouldn't have time to watch it every day. The technology tells me. So this morning it told me to wait before I locked because there was going to be a reprice, and we had a reprice. So.
Wow. So give just a quick, if a borrower is going to go and take out a loan now, $700,000 loan, like you said, or staying within the FHA limits, what's the interest rate today?
Interest rates are in the fours. We're FHA. We're as low as 4.25.
Okay.
Could be 4.25 to 4.625. The same with conventional loan rates. And with investment properties, investment property could be 4.625 to maybe 5.125, depending.
Yeah.
So we're just at historical lows. So right now, with the primary residence always being a better interest rate than an investment, but here are the investors being able to have just as much buying power as a primary residence, which is great.
It's amazing how clients right now, we're analyzing for our investor clients to purchase a home, even in the $500,000 to $700,000 range. With 20-30% down, they are positive cash flow in many cases.
Sure.
So it's incredible the difference it makes, and what an amazing time to be an investor.
I always look at it as if you own a piece of California, you own a piece of gold.
Right.
So, this is always where people want to buy. It's the weather, it's the environment, unless you want to move to New York. So.
Exactly. And as long as they're purchasing somewhere, timing is everything, and we are somewhere near the bottom of the curve. So,
sure.
The next 10 years, incredible change, I'm sure, will take place. And,
absolutely. Yeah. And they were saying how they're going to try to keep rates as low as they can for until 2013. And there again, those talks are going to stimulate investors to buy more. The more they buy, the more rates are going to come down. So things are just in a great horizon right now.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Michael, and please share where they can reach you.
Oh, absolutely.
Telephone number, your website.
Yeah, my telephone number is 925-497-2501, or you can always go to my website, which is www.internetapproval.com.
Yeah, and I have to say, Michael is one of our favorite lenders. We've been doing business for such a long time. He's an honest, just a good guy that can help answer questions, so feel free to give him a call, and I hope to see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.